NCAA basketball totals for Tuesday, March 14th. For you new guys, this is a segment where we look at totals set by odds makers. We try to beat the line either over or under the total. We've been saying this all year. Now we're coming down to the end. We got March Madness, NIT action today for our two picks. So we're going to take a look at a couple games in just a second. Don't forget we have SBRpicks.com, our main webpage, Sportsbook review. All the sign-up bonuses are there. Blacklists of sportsbooks you want to avoid, so you got to check that out. Facebook page, you got to check that out. Also, our NBA live segment, don't forget that's 5 o'clock Eastern. That goes on every day. You guys have been awesome in that segment, and we're really getting it going with the NBA now. So, you want to tune into that and check that out. We'll also talk about some NCAA in that segment. That goes on live, so if I make a lot of mistakes, you have to forgive me on that. This is a video, actually, and I still make mistakes even on the videos, but sometimes you just have to, make it as clean as possible and get the information to you guys. The picks I like so far on the season for NCAA totals, we're doing just fine. We're sitting 164, 136, which is, about 54%. So we're in the profits. Cannot complain at all. And what's great about Sportsbook Review is you've seen all the videos, or you've seen, all my picks, so you know that it's all legitimate and it's free, which is great as well. And I'm glad we've had a good season. I feel like we're going to finish up on a strong note. But that's just a feeling. Let's hopefully we can knock these out of the park, and let's see if we can get these two today and add to that winning percentage. We'll have some picks coming up for the NCAA tournament as well, of course. In the NBA live segment, we'll be talking about spreads. For this segment, though, we just do the totals, and let's just go ahead and let's dive right in. All right. So the first game we got up. Really great matchups. Love the NIT because you got those first games where teams are traveling to places where they really don't, normally play, which is fantastic. And you get some very interesting matchups. Here's one of them. We got Indiana and Georgia Tech. Tom Crean, who likes to really go up tempo, versus a Georgia Tech team that's been really slow. Great on the defensive end this season, mostly because of their pace. Odds makers have it at 143.5, and I'm going to go under. This Indiana team's been a little bit different this year. They last year they were one of the worst defenses in the Big Ten. Now they're still not that great, and they do like to push tempo. Right now they're averaging over 80 points per game. But Georgia Tech, playing out of the ACC, they have held some of even the faster tempo, higher scoring teams to some decent totals. And I think this is going to stay just under the number, and it's going to end up somewhere in the 130s. Indiana defensively, that's what I really want to focus this on, because Georgia Tech's going to be there. I'll touch on them, but Indiana, that's what I want to focus on. And defensively, not bad for a Tom Crean squad, where their tempo, they're allowing under 60 attempts per game, which is better than last year, but their percentages are a lot better. They're allowing opponents to shoot just 33.6% from distance. They're allowing opponents to shoot just 42.7% overall. So they've been doing a nice job. Their scoring defense not that great, allowing just over 73 points, but Georgia Tech's not a phenomenal scoring team. They are, however, a really good defensive team. So I look for this to stay a little bit low, and I'm not going to overthink this one too much, considering it's at Georgia Tech, and I believe they will be able to control the pace. On the season, Georgia Tech's been pretty slow, averaging just 56 attempts per game. They're not really a good shooting team, shooting 43% overall and 32% from distance. Where they've been getting it done is on the defensive side. Check out some of these stats. They're allowing opponents, and they're coming out of the ACC, they're allowing opponents to shoot just 40% overall. That ranks 19th in the country. That is one of the better statistics we're going to see defensively, not only out of just the ACC, but anywhere in the country. I mean, that's just a fantastic statistic as well. 43.6% on opponent 2-point shots, which should be a point of contention, considering that's where Indiana, well, most teams do most of their scoring, inside the arc. But Indiana particularly, they're averaging 54.4% and ranked 23rd in the country on their 2-point shots. So that's going to be a point of contention. I like for Georgia Tech to go ahead and mitigate that as well. Defensively, Georgia Tech, they're ranked 17th in the country in opponent shooting efficiency. So look for this game to stay a little bit lower than that 143.5. And the next one we got up, now we're going the other way. We got Oakland and Clemson. Oakland is one of my favorite teams. Campy. I really like what he does with that club. The Oakland Grizzlies there. Now they're in the Horizon. They used to be in the Summit. Let me type something up here real quick. Make sure I got the right stat, and we got 156.5 for Clemson and Oakland. We're going over. I think, again, like that Indiana Georgia Tech game, I just didn't want to overthink this. This should be an up and down affair. Clemson's gone really fast this year. Really up tempo. Right now, Clemson, they're averaging just 75 points per game, but they're getting up 58.5 attempts, and they're allowing 58.4 attempts. So they're really getting up and down. We see, when we look at some of their scores, I'll dig into that in just a second because they are the home team in this matchup. They've had some pretty high scoring games this year, and I expect this is going to be one of them as well. Oakland can score, and they really like to get up and down. They're averaging 79 points per game. They're averaging just like Clemson, about 58 attempts, but they allow over 60. They allow actually over 61. So look for Clemson to control the tempo, really get up and down. The key thing for me is, can Oakland score with Clemson? Well, according to the statistics, I think they can, because Clemson right now, they're allowing opponents to shoot over 45% from the floor and almost 36% from distance. Oakland has been not so great from beyond the arc, but that's a pretty efficient team. I mean, they're shooting over 45% from the floor. They rank 40th in the country in shooting efficiency, so I expect they're going to be able to score. Defensively, not bad statistics. I mean, well, they're good, actually. They're allowing opponents to shoot just 41%, but that's out of the Horizon League for the most part. Now they're going to face a pretty good ACC team, and I think it's going to be a little different, where Clemson is going to push some tempo and go ahead and put up some buckets. Put up some points, I should say. That didn't sound really right. But Clemson also, I mean, good shooting team. They shoot about 36% from distance, 50% on their two-point shots. I mean, they're just a good scoring team. I think it's going to be really up-tempo. Again, what I wanted to mention, when we look at Clemson on the season, as far as teams they've matched up with that go at a pretty quick pace, like Wake Forest, you're looking at, a final that was at 178. When they go against NC State, a final that was 152. That's a little bit lower, this 156.5. I realize that. But when they that was a few games back against NC State. The last time they faced them, that was in the tournament. It's a little bit slower pace game, that one. But some of the faster pace ones we've seen out of Clemson, when they played Florida State, they've been getting up and down. They put up over combined 170 points. They got actually destroyed in that game, actually. Virginia Tech, 163 points, another fast-paced team. Notre Dame, they put up just 145, a little bit surprising. North Carolina, very fast pace, of course. We saw, a game went over 170. So for the most part, when we see them facing teams that like to get up tempo, like in Oakland, they're going to get up tempo. And I think that's what we're going to see tonight. So I'm going to back over that 156.5. Again, as always, I could talk about this for a lot longer, but we're going to go ahead and just shut it down right there. Okay, so we got two plays on the card today. I'll have some spread picks as well. I'll talk about that in the morning of that NBA Live segment, and there's a couple of games I like, so it should be an interesting day of basketball in the NCAA with the tournament and March Madness coming up, but also NBA. We'll cover that as well. So check that out. That's 5 o'clock Eastern on the Facebook page. Indiana, Georgia Tech under the 143.5. Oakland, Clemson over the 156.5. It's going to be a fantastic couple weeks here to watch a lot of basketball. Tune in to Sportsbook Review, our Facebook page, to check out our other handicappers. It's all free, and I wish you guys luck on your picks today.
We hope you enjoyed the video. Hey, don't miss out on the best basketball betting content available on YouTube. Click our logo button on the bottom left to subscribe. And as always, guys, give us a like and drop your comments below because we want to hear from you. Visit our website to take advantage of all our free products.